Okay, I think we're going live here. I think we're going live. I'd like to welcome everybody to I Ski with Frankie Z as we're going live today. Our top stories: Michael Jackson tops our five favorite song list. Tom Cruise to sell his Telluride cabin for $3.5 million. March Madness in the Pac 12's dominating. Skiing near Indianapolis, speaking of March Madness, and the NCAA championship on April 5th. Who will be there? And lastly, stimulus checks. Should you buy skis and boots? That is the question. Then finally, we have our top 5 song list that we end each episode with. So tune in for that. Today's is crazy too. Topping the list, Tom Cruise's Telluride home sells for $39.5 million. I'm sorry. Was I going to say 3 million? Was I going to say 30 million? No. $39.5 million. It's 320 acres. The road to get from the main road to his house, private drive, is 1 mile long. Like, it's built for seclusion. And if you want to know more about this, like checking out the pictures and that kind of thing, go check it out. But overall, the house has 11,512 square feet. I mean, this is like Top Gun's pimp pad, right? The pimp pad for Top Gun. Shit. My boy Tommy over here cooking up with some serious gas on. I don't know, man. That is just that house has to be just the best. Kind of just looking over here, what it says is that he tried selling the property 7 years ago for 59 million, but it never listed publicly. Listen, it's I don't know what happened. You know, you make your money on the buy, not the sale. I always remember that, Tommy. But anyway, that's just something to put in your pipe and smoke on later. So that's what's cooking with Tom Cruise up in Colorado. I don't know, man. Like, if it was me, I'd call my boys and I'd be like, "Look, should I stay or should I go? Come up here and we'll talk about it for a weekend." And of course, we'd stay. We'd just plan for another trip. Doesn't he have any friends? That place sounds like a kind of nice little pad to kind of put together a. I don't know. I'm just talking for Tom Cruise. What the hell do I know? March Madness and the Pac 12, they're dominating right now. That is what is so incredible about what's going on right now, at least with the Pac 12. There's other teams that you like, that you're following, that you are paying attention to, of course. And so what I've done is I've left on the game while I'm taping this right now. The UCLA game is on TV and watching it currently as we are talking here. So as we move forward with this thing, we're going to talk a little bit about March Madness because we've got a few teams. We've got Oregon State, which has just come from nowhere. Totally a Cinderella team. They were picked last in the Pac-12 to finish last this season in the Pac-12, and they end up winning the Pac-12. Then they come right into this March Madness, and they're just dominating. It's fantastic. So we'll see what happens. Yesterday, they ended up beating Oklahoma State 80-70, and we'll see what happens. UCLA's playing right now, like I talked about. Oregon just beat Iowa today. That was a fantastic upset. 95-80, Oregon pulling through. And Lastly, we have two more teams, Colorado, who will be playing Florida State later today, and then we have USC and Kansas. Boy, I'll tell you, that one's going to be quite the game. I don't know quite how to say that. Like, what a matchup this USC Kansas game is I think it's going to be a real barn burner. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But the Pac-12 is on fire right now. You got to love that about the Pac-12. Good job, fellas. Man, I would have loved to have seen Arizona State in there. That would have been fantastic. So right now, UCLA is on top of ACU, which is Abel Christian, and I wanted to mention something here, if we could. If you like the channel, if you're getting some value out of this, can you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell that's right next to it there, so that you get notifications when we put out our new shows? It'll help us produce better quality content, puts us in the algorithm like we like to be with YouTube. It shows them the interest in the channel, shows them that you show love. So if we could show some love to each other, that'd be great. We'll keep popping here with I Ski with Frankie Z. Skiing near Indianapolis. When I heard that the championships were going to be in Indianapolis, and it's the Final Four on Saturday as well as the championship on Monday, which would be April 5th. So the 3rd is the Final Four, and then the championship game is on April 5th in Indianapolis. So if you're going to be in Indy and you're wondering, is there anywhere to ski? I've got a nice little ski report that I'm going to bring to you here from my girl Susan with Google. Are you ready for this?
Top ski resorts in and around Indiana. As a part of the United States Corn Belt, endless agricultural fields are probably what come to mind when imagining Indiana. The state may not have much of a reputation when it comes to skiing, but that doesn't mean there isn't some winter fun to be had in and around the Hoosier State. Tucked between those fields of grain are local ski haunts, and beyond the state's borders are even more options. Take a long drive through the countryside in Indiana and beyond, or along the coast of a Great Lake, to a snowy ski resort. Paoli Peaks, Indiana. One of two alpine-style ski resorts in Indiana, Paoli Peaks is at a modest elevation of 900 feet with a vertical drop of 300 feet. 17 runs at different skill levels offer skiers and snowboarders a downhill adrenaline rush without leaving the state. The resort also offers snow tubing for those who haven't yet mastered gliding along the slopes on their own. Paoli Peaks Day Lodge, perched at the top of the hill, offers amenities such as a cafeteria-style restaurant, equipment rental shop, and a first aid facility. While there is no accommodation in the ski area, many are to be found nearby. The resort is located near Hoosier National Forest, in case you want to get some extra nature walks in during your winter adventure. Perfect North Slopes, Indiana. Located only an hour and a half drive from Indianapolis, Perfect North Slopes is the second of the state's ski resorts. With an elevation of 800 feet, a vertical drop of 400 feet, 23 runs available at beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels, the resort is an ideal option for groups of skiers and snowboarders with different skills. The main lodge offers a small cafeteria with snack-like foods to keep you satiated, and a skiing and snowboarding shop can also be found in the East Lodge. Ski lessons and snow tubing are also available at Perfect North Slopes.
Well, now that's where I want to go. That's what I'm talking about. Perfect North Slope sounds like the place to be if you're over in Indianapolis for the big dance. If you're over there and you can't get tickets to the game, or you don't want to go to the game, maybe you're there and you're with somebody and they're basketball fanatics. You know how basketball fanatics are. They're like face painting and wearing team colors and whatnot. Love those people. God, I love those people. I like doing that sometimes too. That's the best. So you're over there putting on your war paint, and somebody in your group's like, nah, I'm not into it. And maybe museums are closed, or maybe you just happen to bring your boards with you, and you're saying, I'm going to put these planks to work in Indianapolis while I'm out here. Good news. It sounds like perfect North Slopes is the way to go. I was looking at a picture of it, and it looks like it might even have some rooms right there at the edge of the slopes. I don't know if you'd call it ski in, ski out. Maybe they do, but whatever it is, they said it has both all three intermediate, beginner, and expert runs. Man, I was looking at a map of it. It looks like it has a couple of 5 or 6 lifts, and oh man, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, these places like this, it may not be something like we know about in the Rockies, but some of these ski resorts are cool and worth hitting up. Check it out. So that's what's cooking up there. Is the Perfect North is the one, and then the other one is called Paoli Peaks, and says it has 17 runs at different skill levels, which means that they have beginner and intermediate, or like almost intermediate. That's all right. Listen, you got to keep your game tight no matter where you're playing. You know what I mean? It's just like anything. You find whatever you have to work with, wherever you're skiing, you get better based off your skill set and what you have available. That's all there is to it. So if you don't want to improve on your game, then complain about your hill and what it isn't or whatever. But I say just apply yourself. And if you have short runs, then make short turns and make the most of it. Work on your turns. But if you get on a hill with good vertical and you're an expert skier and you like to go fast, then that's when you have your opportunity to do so. Take advantage of it. But if you go to a smaller hill, smaller runs, don't expect to have long GS turns and a run, or well, anyway, I think the point that's being made is stay in your lane. If you want long runs, go to where they have long runs. But if you're in Indianapolis and you're up there for the basketball tournament and you don't want to go to the game, or you want something else to do while you're up there, go skiing. They got some great places up there for you. That's the cool part. So check out Indianapolis. Let's see here. Moving on. Indianapolis skiing tournament, April 5th. So I guess you're going to be there, right? Who do I think is going to be? But we saw what happened with that. That thing went south. Anyway, I don't know. Oregon's playing pretty good, and so's Colorado. I really liked Iowa. Oh, I was wishing for them and my boy Garza. But so it be. LSU might be upsetting Michigan today. We'll have to see what happens with that. That's going to be another good one. I mean, I can't even tell you. I love March Madness. This is so cool. I'm heading skiing tomorrow, by the way. If anybody's going to be on the hill, it'll be Tuesday. What is that? March 23rd. Is that right? Tuesday, March 23rd, heading up to the hill. I ski with Frankie Z. Rolling with the blue helmet. Actually, I don't know. Tomorrow, maybe filming with no helmet. And I recommend a helmet every time you ski. You just never know when you need it. You never know when you might fall or get in that situation. But sometimes in the spring, you just got to go without it. The weather's so good. Oh, this is the best time of year to ski, especially in Arizona. So I'm telling you. Snowbowl has cheap tickets. The Arizona Snowbowl in Flagstaff has cheap lessons, cheap rentals. And you're saying, like, how much? Just depends on how far advanced you get it, but you can. It starts at $29 lift tickets and goes up from there, I think. It's, oh my gosh, it's, you got to take advantage of these types of things when they're available for you. Hit the subscribe button if you could. I'd appreciate it. Show some love down here to Frank Diddy. We also wanted to mention a couple of thank yous for some people out there. We have Spotify, Apple Podcast, Breaker, Anchor, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Castbox, and Radio Public. To all thank for being on their platforms and bringing you the ice ski for Frankie Z. Appreciate that. Reaching out to give a little bit of love out to you guys. Thanks a lot. I always load up our stuff pretty good. Everything works out. I appreciate that kind of thing. We also have some helmet stickers available. There's 3 of them available. This is what they look like on the helmet. They're $10 each, or 3 for $25. And we have the A sticker, which is auburn hair. The B sticker, which is the beauty on the bench. And then the C sticker, which is the cutie. Those are the C's, ABCs. So if you want to help out the channel, get yourself a couple of helmet stickers. This is how they come. Should you buy skis or boots with your stimulus check? Boy, that's an interesting question, because I got to tell you, my first answer is yes. Just because I've been eyeing some new Rossignol heroes now for a minute. And so I went on rossignol.com and I started shopping around on their website, and I started checking out what was going on with Rossignol. And craziest thing happened here. I put in for some all mountain skis and it popped up these cool looking all mountain ski experienced 84 A1s or ALs. Let's see. It must be A1s. And they had them in a 180s. And they're saying this is the ski for you, Frank Diddy. And I don't know. I would like to know what you guys are skiing on. If you want to leave them in the comments and let me know what you're skiing on, I'd appreciate it. And what you think. What I really want is some heroes. But I don't know if those are, because I like turning too. I don't like just to go fast. I like a little turning. So what do you guys think about the men's All-American ski experience, 84s, AIs, or the Rossignol heroes? The other thing I was looking at was the Rossignol hero boots. I don't know if anybody's thought about boots, but there's some nice looking heroes. And the other one is the Rossignol All Track. And that's what this one is here, for example, that Olivia stomps in. And what's cool about this one is the All Track has this hike or ski mode. So you can lift this thing up, and now it's in hike mode, and it gives the boot a little more play. You lock that down, and it's in ski mode now. It's kind of cool. And it's a beautiful boot, man. I got to tell you, I just think it is so pretty. Beautiful design, great fit. This boot is absolutely awesome. And she loves it. I mean, I haven't actually put the boot on my foot, but Olivia absolutely endorses this Rossignol All Track. And so I was looking at those and maybe some heroes, but the hero skis for sure. maybe, I don't know, maybe both. Maybe some all mountain and then maybe that race ski with a sharp edge. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I'm a Rossignol guy. I like the Rossignol, but there's other skis out there. There's the Blizzards. There's the Lang. Well, I don't know. Does Lang make skis? Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. What else you skiing on? Let me know. I'd be interested. And then tell me what you're spending your stimulus on. Is it skis or no skis? Ski passes coming up. By the way, we're gonna get a news report on our next show coming up about the upcoming ski passes going to become available. They're going to have an early sale on some of these coming in March and April and May. To keep your eyes peeled for those, you may want to buy those early and get on the early on that so that they don't sell out on you. You're like, what? Buying for next season already? Yeah, and it'll be here in no time too. So you got to be ready for that. Now, let's see if we're missing any current news, anything to get you caught up on here. There was a couple options on the Rossignol. You need to go to rossignol.com and check that out. See what you need as far as your skis go. I think you'd be interested to find out how that works because they have a couple of options if you want to go with racing, if you want to go with all mountain, if you want to go with, there's a couple of options for you to take a look at. And then it also asks you some other things like skill level but man, I came up with these. I was like, oh, what? Okay. It's that time. You know what that time is? It's the song list. Oh, I couldn't wait to get to the song list. The song list today. Before we get to the song list, can you hit subscribe? Do us a favor, hit subscribe, hit the bell, like the channel if you could, or like the video, like the podcast, what we're doing. Oh, I'd appreciate it. We're a podcast about skiing for skiers and people that like the mountains and music and all that kind of stuff. So check it out. See what you think about it. All right. We'd love to have you part of the team. And again, we'd also like to thank YouTube. They've done a great job for us, putting us out, getting us free music. Anchor, providing a platform that we launched this on the audio level. Been doing a great job. We just got to say thank you very, very much. And we'd also like to say for those people that are listening, thank you guys. You made this channel blow up so fast, so fast. It's fantastic. And we just can't tell you thanks enough. We have some great shows that are going to be coming up. We're going to tell you about it a little later. But first, we want to get into the song list. Song list for today. It's just popping. It has some songs on it, though, that you're going to need to Google or that you're going to need to go on to see where they're at or however you get your music. I use iTunes. That's what I use. I download with that. Song's called Slow Dance. Comes in at number 5 by Susie and the Banshees. Spelled Siouxsie and the Banshees. Banshees. Slow Drive. Man, this song just plays hard. It sounds good. I don't even know what it's supposed to mean. I looked up for some meaning on it. There wasn't a whole lot about it. Put it on the song list. Listen to that thing when you're rolling down the hill. You'll know what I'm talking about. She's got a great voice too, man. She just bangs this out. Coming in at number 4 You won't believe this one. This one's crazy. A blast from the past. And some of my younger viewers, younger listeners, you won't even know what the hell this is. You need to go in and check yourself on this one because this one's fun. This was when rock didn't know if it was rock or disco, and if disco didn't know if it should stay rock or move on. The song's called Do Ya Think I'm Sexy by Rod Stewart. DAYA, Think I'm Sexy. Do ya think I'm sexy? Oh my God. This one begs out too. Yeah, about that same time, the Rolling Stones released a song called Miss You. And there was these rockers that didn't know how to stay relevant. And so they kind of came up with these crazy songs. And this one by Rod Stewart. Let's see what it says here. Oh, yeah, it just says that it came out about the same time as the Rolling Stones' Miss You, but it was his kind of play on like a rock version with like a dance beat. So it ended up being a really good song for him that he ended up becoming kind of embarrassed playing, I guess, after a while, because as he got older, a song didn't quite apply to him. As a young artist touring, he was quite the sexy sex object. And he would say, "Do you think I'm sexy?" And the crowd would answer back, "Yes." Oh, that's so funny. Coming in at number 3, Dreaming Awake by POD. So if anybody's ever seen The Matrix Reloaded, that's where this song comes from. Yeah. I was going to say, oh my gosh, I got to check that out because the song, it just totally reminds me of that movie. It's kind of futuristic and I don't even know, it's one of the most unique songs you'll ever hear. But when you're skiing, if this thing's blasting in your hair and you're rolling down the road, it is the song. It is the jam. So check that out. POD comes in with Dreaming Awake. Number 2. You ready for this? Highly Suspect comes in with a song called Lydia. What is beautiful about this song is it screams heavy rock and roll with a great beat that almost has like slalom turns built right into it, like you're running a GS. It's crazy how when you put this thing on, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you ski, if you snowboard, if you even if you just like the outdoors and you're on your bike, if you're on a treadmill, if you work out, put Lydia on by Highly Suspect. I'm going to give you a little bit of the lyrics here. You ready for this? Black ocean, cold and dark. I'm the hungry shark, fast and merciless. Oh, I shouldn't even sing it to you, but I love this song so much. But the only girl I could talk to. Oh, by the way, this song was filmed underwater. It had one shot. And it shows this chick doing all this stuff underwater. Like it has such a cool video. You got to check it out. So he ends up talking about, tell me what is worse than this. The echoes through the halls, they dance along the walls. As you can see, it's kind of poetic and it's kind of romantic in a way. You were the one that I used to love, and I'm still in love with, but I'll never love, but how does it say it? But I've never loved you the most. Okay, I don't know. When you put this thing to music, it starts sounding pretty good. It's pretty good. So you got to check it out. I've seen better days, so unafraid in my youth. Oh man, it's so jamming. Check out Lydia. I am tearing this thing up. I'm not even doing it justice, and I apologize because I'm not over here trying to get you guys to turn away from it. But like you gotta check out the rock and roll, man. This thing pops in. So this makes number one even more exciting. By the way, we just went to halftime. 31-21, I believe, is the score for the UCLA game. Halftime, UCLA's up. And I have a feeling Abel Christian is going to have a hard time moving into victory with this game. I'm sorry to say, but so anyway, I'm going to hit the mute while we're on halftime here because this next song, the number one song by Michael Jackson, is so cool. And it's so complicated in such a cool musical way because like the lead guitarist is Steve Stevens. And if you don't know who that is, Homeboy used to roll with Billy Idol. Let me pull this up here because let's just jump into it. You ready? The song is called Dirty Diana. It's a song by Michael Jackson, and it's the 9th track on his 7th studio album, Bad. I'm reading this off of Wikipedia, by the way. The song was released by Epic Records on April 18th, 1988. And it's the 5th single from the album. Man, I'll tell you, he had Beat It and Thriller before that. And then all of a sudden he popped out with this one, and then Dirty Diana was on there. Oh, it was so crazy. Like, what a great song. Hands down, one of his coolest kind of rock songs that I don't know, like you couldn't believe that Michael had this kind of musical range. That's what was so amazing about it, to me at least. Because when I sit there and think about it, like I even remember when it came out, like some people were talking about it like it was about Dirty Diana was like Princess Di. And then Diana Ross, and he's like, no, the song was written about like this groupie. And Diana Ross actually played the song, by the way, before some of her concerts, and played a little ballad there for her concerts. But it was about let's see, the song's lyrics were about groupies Jackson was also confronted with during his time on the road and touring. He just ran into Dirty Dianas, is what he was calling them. But Dirty Diana didn't upset Princess Di. In fact, she said that it was one of her favorite songs, which I thought was very cool because, like, I don't know, sometimes you think that people can be a little too uppity or whatever, but like she wasn't at all, even in her music. And I thought that was really cool. So that's what we came up with today for the top 5 music on the list. We want to thank you if you've listened this long to the show, because we have a couple of shows that we're going to have coming up we wanted to tell you a little bit about. First one is the coolest towns that are filled with wine, cowboys or cowgirls, and ski people. Yeah, we're going to talk about cool Arizona towns with that kind of quality to them. And then working out to ski, what you need to be doing season, off season, working out, why you want to work out. We got to talk about that. We're going to have another one coming up with top hotels on Route 66. We had a nice little show called Hotels that was specifically for Flagstaff that we did. So if you want to go back and reference that, but we're going to do one with some of the other hotels that are on Route 66. We're going to talk about those. some that are fun in both winter and summer. And then also where to play golf in northern Arizona. So stay tuned for that. And if you would hit the subscribe button, we'd appreciate that. If you could support the channel in that way, we'd really appreciate it. And the other thing is we'd lastly like to say thank you for listening. Thank you for being a part of the show. This makes it so interesting because I have people that send me text messages and they say, hey, what's going on? How's this? How's that? I have a question about ski socks, about ski gloves, skiing. How do I rent? And we've answered some of these questions, but a lot of them we're going to be getting to. Talking about ski helmets. We've talked about skis in just today's show. Love the Rossignol brand. So stay tuned for more. Again, thanks for listening. We're going to end the podcast now. But we're going to keep the live stream running here for a second. We had a couple of things talking about with this March Madness. It looks like UCLA here ahead at halftime could pull a victory out. And that would just the USC Colorado today playing. And then I think Thursday we're going to see Oregon State's game being played. Oh, wait a minute. It's saying not till Saturday, March 27th. What? So they must be in the Sweet 16 already? Oh, that's too much. Oh, okay. Well, this is what I'm talking about. I got to get caught up on this thing. This is even a perfect time for it to be halftime for me so I can catch up on the scores and what's cooking here. Well, my YouTube folks, I just want to tell you thanks for tuning in. Drop us a comment. Let us know where you're listening from and what kind of skis you use if you don't want to let me know where you're at. I'd appreciate it. You guys stay cool, and we'll see you real soon. Peace out. Thanks, my peace people.